What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I am here to bring you guys a what type of brushes I reach for or I like to purchase. This is going to be predominantly all about the shape. I'm not going to really focus on the hair type, just because I don't mind natural or synthetic brushes. I know I've been recently purchasing more natural hair brushes, but I don't care. And yeah, I think that's all I need for the intro. What is on my face? I did not record this. But I used two palettes for this look. I used my Natasha Denona Purple Blue palette and my Lorac Pro 2. Everything else is Project Pan. I used my Stila liquid lipstick in Patina, my Chrisanna and brow pomade, my ABH blush trio in Pink Passion, my e.l.f. blush that I used as a bronzer, my two Project Pan highlighters, my Project Pan foundation, which is my Dior Backstage 07. I think that's it. So that's pretty much what is on my face. But if you are interested in seeing the brush shapes that I am reaching for and I really do continuously repurchase, then just keep watching. Alrighty, so there's certain steps in my makeup routine which I generally reach for the same shape of brush, and then of course there are other steps where I really don't care. As long as I get the product on my face, that's all I care about. So I'm just gonna kind of take you guys through my, like, how I put my makeup on, and then we're gonna go from there. So primer, I put my primer on with my hands every day. So yeah, no brush for that. Then I pretty much almost instinctively go for my eyeshadow. For my base, depending on what type of base I use, I actually have a brush to apply it. And I use one shape brush. Both of these are dirty. Most of my brushes are dirty, so we're just going to keep it pushing on that. And they are small, like concealer-ish brushes, but they're both angled. These are what I reach for when I have like a potted eyeshadow primer, or even like my Urban Decay primer. It does have a doe foot, so I can apply it on my eye, but to blend it in I use one of these two brushes. I think that using these allows it to blend into my skin tone a lot better, so that when I go in to put whatever eyeshadow on top, you can't see the difference between the eyeshadow, the primer, and my skin. So I really enjoy these, and they do a really good job, in my opinion, with buffing my primer into my eye shape. And because I'm a brilliant person, I did not tell you guys what these brushes are. So this one is from the Mikasa range, and it's the F400, and then this other one is a Motor Pro, and it's the BMX 465. I'm not gonna promise it, but I'm gonna hope that I'm gonna have everything linked and listed down below. I'm gonna hope. Okay, next, after I've buffed it on, sometimes I will set my eyeshadow base. Did I get both? Where's my other example? There it is. Okay, so I have two brushes that I like to use for that, and they are both paddle shaped brushes, very large paddle shaped brushes. So as you can see, they have a very big surface that they can apply. One is very dirty, but both of them are very fluffy, very malleable, and that one has a lot of product still in there. And they allow me to really pack on the powder if I really want to set my base. So the black one is from Coastal Scents, and it's the BRCN03. And then the other one is from Coastal Scents as well, and it's the BRBSO3. So I really do enjoy both brushes. Thus far, all of these brushes that I have talked about have all been synthetic, I believe. I'm not sure about the Mikasa one. The Mikasa one might not be synthetic. who knows, who knows. Okay, next I've set my base, I've put on my base. Next, depending on my technique, I will either go in with a transition shade or my first shade for my crease, or I will start with my darker, deeper color. If I'm going in with a transition color for my crease, like a lot of other people, I like very big, very fluffy brushes. I tend to go a little ham on these because I really do enjoy these brushes. And these are just 3 examples, all in different price ranges. But one thing they all have in common is they're very fluffy. There is a slight difference. The Wayne Goss in the middle is more pointed, whereas these 2 are more fluffy. I will say that I do reach for the 2 fluffier ones more. So I do prefer a more rounded, fluffy brush to really put that first color in my crease, or whenever I put that color in my crease. That's the type of brush I do prefer, but I really do enjoy the Wayne Goss one as well. So these are my 3 type shapes, but really these 2 are the ones that I really like to put in for that first color, and then I'll go in for a slightly more focused but very poofy blending brush. So the Wayne Goss one that I've been talking about is the Wayne Goss 16. Then you have the Eddie Funkhauser. I believe this is their large crease brush. And then I have a Royal and Langnickel brush, and this is their large crease brush. I really, really, really love this one. This is natural hair along with the Wayne Goss one. The Eddie Funkhauser brush that I have is not natural hair, even though he originally did have natural hair brushes in his line. Okay, next I have a couple of more eye brushes that I really reach for on a pretty consistent basis, and I like to purchase, and they have this type shape. So they are blending brushes. Let me give some more room in between so you guys can see the difference. So they are blending brushes, but when you put them to the side, they are pinched. I really, really enjoy these brushes because they not only allow you to blend if you put them on kind of the butt of the brush, but they also allow you to really pack on the product on the outer V, or wherever you really want to pack the product on. Even if you're trying to pack the product in the crease, you can do them with this brush, this shape of a brush. I have a plethora of these brushes. The 2 that I picked out because they were the closest to me today were my MAC 217, and I think this is a Wet n Wild brush. I believe this is. No, this is the e.l.f. brush. This is the e.l.f. brush in 205. I know Sigma has them. I have multiple of those brushes from Sigma. I just cannot think of the name right now. If you want like a more high-end version, Sonia G has one, and this is similar. It's a little bit more rounded, but similar. And this is her Worker 2. So, I mean, a plethora. If I keep going through my section, I will find even more. Here is a Hakuhodo S5523A. I really enjoy this type of brush because it's a dual purpose brush, and I love dual purpose brushes. The next type of brush that I want to talk about is these babies. These are very, very small, detail oriented brushes. I can't seem to find my Sigma version, which is weird because I'm pretty sure I just used it yesterday. Here, this is probably it. Yeah. Okay, so these are 3, and honestly, Wayne Goss, he has an obscene amount of these. So that's a Sonia G brush. Where's my Wayne Goss? I can't find it. Is this my 19? Yeah, okay. So these are my more detail oriented brushes. We have a couple of different shapes, but all of these are in the same realm for me. These 2 are pretty much dupes. And these are the very, very fine detail brushes. So like if you want to blend out a shape, or not a shape, well yeah, a shape or a color, but you don't want the product to move at all or very little, but you just want to blend out the actual color, I'd highly recommend these two brushes. I think they both work pretty much the same, so no big deal. It is the Morphe M562 and the Sigma E36. I really enjoy them for really just blending out the outer edges of my colors and the shades that I put in my crease. Then we have a couple more detail oriented brushes. I have an obscene amount of these. I mean, I can keep pulling detail oriented brushes out of my collection. It's obscene because my eyes are so hooded and so small. I really do have a lot of them. If you saw my Wayne Goss versus Sonia G brushes video, I did talk about Wayne Goss's brushes, and I was saying how they are very small, compact, detail oriented, and basically I could pull his whole eye collection out for this part of my brushes that I really reach for. And you have, right now I have the Wayne Goss 19 and the Wayne Goss 20. The difference between these two brushes is the Wayne Goss 20, which is on my left, it should be you guys' left as well, is rounded, whereas the Wayne Goss 19 is more pointed. I do reach more for the Wayne Goss 19, just because if I'm gonna go for a detail oriented brush, I want the product to go exactly where I want it to go, and this brush really helps me. Whereas the Wayne Goss 20, it's not gonna be as compact, but this would be a really good brush if you're trying to deepen out your outer V, because you can just blend while you deepen it out. So two very, very good brushes and two very good brush shapes. Two other brushes that have good brush shapes that I wanted to talk about are the Morphe M507 and the Sonia G Crease Pro. These both, once again, have pointed tips to them. Of course, the Sonia G Crease Pro is a little bit more pointed than the Morphe, and it also holds its shape more than the Morphe because it is natural hair and it's more expensive, so I would expect it to. But I do use both of these for, once again, just crease work, detail work. So like in this look, if I didn't pull this dark blue all the way over my lid color like I wanted to, I could reach in for this Crease Pro and just very detailed, very softly put the color where I want it without necessarily messing up my cut crease look. So I do really enjoy pointed brushes. Like I said, I do enjoy my Wayne Goss collection, but I only enjoy them for a particular reason. So yeah, do look up in that video if you are interested in kind of seeing my comparisons between those two brands. The last thing that I want to talk about is how I get my shadows on my lid. I see a lot of people getting, what is that, MAC 242, all of these really big lid shader brushes. My eyes are too small for that. That dog ain't hunting. I use lip brushes or very small shader brushes. Here are two examples. The one on my right, which is the red one, is a lip brush, and that one is from Royal & Land Nickel, and the one on the left is from Morphe, and it's a lid shader brush, I want to say, and it's the M124. I enjoy really small lid brushes because they allow me to get the most accuracy and to actually stay within the line that I cut for my crease. And I use those colors those brushes as well to actually cut my crease. So those are very much dual purpose for me. And without those very small brushes, your girl would never do a cut crease. Like ever. Never ever. Like, you're most likely never gonna catch me with, I'll show you guys an example. You will almost never catch me cutting my lid with the Sephora brush that I just added to this grouping. Never. It's too big. No, I'm not stupid enough to think that I will actually be able to cut my lid accurately and cleanly with such a big brush. Not with my small eyes, not with my technique. No, ma'am. Okay, now we're going to base products. Next, of course, I would put my foundation on. Typically, I'm not really yay or nay on like I have to have this particular shape for my foundation brushes, and for sponges I just like them to be relatively soft. That's all I ask for. So I'm not gonna really even show you guys any of those. I do have favorites. My two favorites, they're completely different brush shapes, but just in case you want to know, the first one is the Sigma Curved Kabuki F83. I have two of those brushes. And then the other one that is my favorite is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. I have two of these as well. I love those two brushes for blending out my foundation. And of course, my favorite sponges is the e.l.f. Sponge and the Eco Tools sponge. Those are my two favorite sponges. So different, but just in case you wanted to know. Next, setting of my face. So I typically start setting my face with my under eyes because that could crease, and with my wrinkly under eyes it does crease. I have two brushes that are my favorite and their shapes are completely different. When it comes to this category, it's not necessarily the shape, it is the feel on my under eye and the flexibility. So I kind of want to show you guys these two. The bigger, more rounded one is my Sonia G, and it's the one with the complicated name, the Nchiji Pro, I don't know. And then the other one is my Royal and Land Nickel Omnium brush, and they call this for highlighter, and this is the BOM 37. I love this for my under eyes. It just sweeps the product beautifully under my under eyes, and I can also press it under my under eyes. Same with this one, it sweeps beautifully and it can also press beautifully. Why I like these brushes, like I said, they sweep and press beautifully, and they both have really nice flexibility. As you can see, the Royal and Land Nickel one has a little bit more flexibility, but that is, I believe, because of how there's pressed in the ferrule, as well as the amount of actual hairs in here. They're both natural hair brushes, so yeah, but of course there is a huge price difference. I love them both, but the big criteria for me for under eye is they need to be both able to pack the powder on, but also, what is that? I don't know. So they need to be able to pack the product on my under eyes, but also sweep. I also am a fan of this Sonia G, not Sonia G, this is a Sonia Kashuk brush, and the number wore off. I think this is the 19. This is no longer in her line, and this once again is really good at packing my under eye and then sweeping away. So for me, the under eye, I don't really have a particular shape, but it just needs to be super flexible and be able to pack on a punch. As for setting my face, I don't really have a preference. It just needs to be a big, I like big poofy brushes. I guess that's a preference. So I can show you guys a couple of examples. Here are two. So pretty big brushes. This one right here is a Kevin Aquan large powder brush. I got this off of Nordstrom Rack, I believe, and this is pretty big. Like this is big, okay? Big. And then another one I have is a Sonia Kashuk powder brush. Something's in my eye. Woo, woo, woo. And I like to just set my face with this as well. I like big puffy powder brushes just to get the whole process out the way quicker. I don't like to sit there powdering my face for a whole year and a day. I can't be bothered. So yeah, I fly through that. Next is bronzer. You guys know this is my favorite part of my makeup behind eyeshadow, and I have grown to love brushes that are wide on the outside but pointed. I don't care how pointed it is, but it needs to be pointed to some degree. Here are two of my latest purchases. Well, not latest purchases, but my latest loves. The bigger one is my Marc Jacobs the bronze brush, and the other one is my Royal and Langnickel BOM 31. If you want another example, I have my Wayne Goss brush in 00. Oh my god. Wow, come on. All three of these brushes are a favorite, and it's really just because they're wide and also pointed. The Wayne Goss one is the most pointed, whereas the Marc Jacobs one is a little bit more curved, but they all have a point to some degree. And like I said, that is my main criteria. I just want a point to some degree. I am slowly dying here, but we're gonna get through this. As for like blush, I only have one particular brush, and this is actually weird. It's actually for cream products. So during this Project Pan situation, I have been using my lipsticks as cream blushes, and it's actually been working only because I have this brush, and this is a BH Cosmetics brush. This is in their Marvel collection, and it is the 6 brush. It's a duo fiber brush, and I like it because it's duo fiber, but I also like it because it's nice and condensed, and it goes right over the points of my cheek, the apples. There we go. It goes right over the apples of my cheek really nicely, and it really blends out the blush pretty well, and it gets a good amount of blush or lipstick on my cheeks. So I really do enjoy this for cream blush. It's the only brush that I've actually used, but no, it's not. It's the only brush that I've liked. So yeah, I don't really have a favorite blush brush. I have a couple that, you know, depending on the time, depending on what's clean, I use, but I'm not like yay or nay about particular powder blush brushes. Last but certainly not least, I hope and I believe, we have highlighting brushes. I like this shape. It is the teardrop shape. Can we focus any time now? Thank you very much. They all have a wide top and go to a narrow bottom near the ferrule. I have 3 examples here, and I believe these are the only 3 that I have in my collection. I have the Linda Hallberg 306, the Sigma High Cheekbone Highlighter in F03, and the Sephora 98. This brush has been on sale for like an eternity. I might actually get another one during the VIP sale. When I'm recording this, it's not come yet, but I know it's coming soon. I love all 3 of these. I actually have 2 of the Sigma ones. I only have 1 Linda Hallberg, and I want to get another Sephora cheek brush. I enjoy all of them. And I like the shape because it allows me to apply on the side but also blend it in with the tip. So that really works for me. That's honestly the best format. I have a fan brush. I have teardrop brushes that I have used for highlighter. I enjoy that shape. The only other thing that I haven't really talked about is how I apply my brows if I use like a pomade, but I use normal like eyebrow pencils, not pencils, tools. I don't know what to call them. Anyways, my 2 go-tos when it comes to, I only have 3 eyebrow brushes. One is for powder. It's the only one I have, and it is the Kat Von D 75. I actually do enjoy this. I love that it has the little teeth in it because it allows you to bring the powder through your brows. I don't tend to reach for this very often right now just because I'm not really working with my powder products. I'm mostly focusing in on my pomades, which leads me down to these 2 brushes. The first brush that I ever got for a pomade was this Wonder 2 brush. I don't know if there's any more name than that. I got this from like CVS. This is a pretty thick brow pencil or brow brush, and because of that, this gives me more bold, more completely filled in brows. So when I want more of a bold brow like I have today, this is pretty bold for me, I go for this brush. When I want more of a thin, more natural looking brow, I go for my ABH brow brush, and this is the 7B. Both of these have spoolies on the end, by the way, and this is what that one looks like, and you see how thin it is. Let me just put them together so you guys can see both of them. So they're both pretty much the same, I would say, width-wise, but this is where they really differ. The ABH one is a lot smaller than the Wander 2. So it allows me to be a little bit more precise, get a little bit more detail when it comes to my brows. And that's pretty much it. I don't think I have missed any section. If I have, editing me will come in because I don't want to miss anything. So yeah, as always, y'all, it has been real. Peace.